chosen ones. Somebody just walked into a building with a brown briefcase full of evidence, and inside that briefcase is every single thing that was stolen from you, documented with dates, times, and receipts that will make your jaw drop. The authorities have been contacted. The investigation is already underway, and the person who built their entire empire on your stolen energy has no idea that their game is about to end in the most spectacular fashion. Right now, as you're hearing these words, there's a whistleblower marching toward the truth with determination in their eyes and justice in their heart. They know everything, they've seen everything, and they're done watching you suffer while someone else profits from your light. Feel that pressure in the atmosphere right now. That's not just any pressure. That's the sound of a timeline shifting, a reality cracking, a false kingdom built on plagiarism and theft about to implode. The person who's been stealing from you woke up this morning with their ears ringing, a strange tightness in their chest, and an unexplainable sense of doom. They can feel something coming, but they can't identify what. Like animals before an earthquake, their body knows destruction approaches even if their mind hasn't caught up yet. The universe has been keeping receipts this entire time, and payment is due. Let me paint you the full picture of what's actually happening behind the scenes right now, because this story is so much bigger than you've been allowed to see. For months, maybe even years, you felt like something was off. Success would get close enough to taste, then mysteriously slip away. Your ideas would appear in someone else's mouth. Your creative works would manifest through someone else's platform. You'd speak something into existence on Monday, and by Friday, someone else was getting praised for it. You weren't imagining things. You weren't being paranoid. Someone has literally been running a full operation based on harvesting your energy and selling it as their own. But here's where the story gets delicious. While you were in your hermit phase, while you were questioning your sanity, while you were wondering why everything felt so hard, the universe was setting up the most elaborate sting operation in spiritual history. Every single time this person stole from you, it was being recorded in the cosmic records. Every instance of theft, every moment of plagiarism, every energy harvest was creating a paper trail that would eventually lead to their complete destruction. The universe was giving them rope, and they used every inch of it to hang themselves. The person with the briefcase, this whistleblower who's about to blow everything wide open, used to be on their side. Picture someone who was deep in the inner circle, someone who this thief trusted completely. Maybe it's a family member who finally grew a conscience. Maybe it's a business partner who realized they were participating in fraud. Maybe it's someone who was receiving the stolen goods and suddenly recognized your energy signature all over it. This person has been watching the thief operate for a long time, getting sicker by the day as they witnessed the extent of the deception. At first, this insider tried to rationalize what they were seeing. They told themselves maybe it was just inspiration, maybe it was coincidence, maybe great minds just think alike. But as time went on, the evidence became undeniable. They watched this person study your content, analyze your patterns, decode your creative DNA, and then reproduce it with just enough changes to avoid obvious detection. They witnessed the systematic theft of not just your ideas, but your entire energetic blueprint, and something inside them snapped. The transformation of this whistleblower is a story within itself. They started documenting everything secretly, screenshots of conversations where the thief explicitly discussed taking your work, recordings of meetings where strategies were planned to harvest your energy, financial records showing income generated from your stolen creations, dates and times when your original content was posted versus when their copied version appeared. They built a case so airtight that no amount of denial could refute it, and they did it all while maintaining their position in the inner circle, playing their role perfectly while gathering evidence that would destroy the entire operation. The fascinating part about this whistleblower's journey is how the universe protected them while they gathered evidence. Every time the thief might have discovered what they were doing, something would distract them. A sudden crisis here, an unexpected opportunity there, always something pulling their attention away from the spy in their midst. The whistleblower themselves started noticing these divine interventions, these perfectly timed distractions that allowed them to continue their documentation undetected. They began to understand they weren't just acting on their own conscience anymore. They were being guided, protected, and empowered by forces much bigger than themselves. Your spiritual team was working through them, using them as an instrument of divine justice. Every file they saved, every screenshot they captured, every piece of evidence they secured was being divinely orchestrated. They became, without fully understanding it, an agent of cosmic law enforcement. What triggered them to finally act? There was a moment, a specific incident, that pushed them over the edge. They watched the thief receive recognition, maybe an award or a major opportunity, for something that was blatantly stolen from you. The audacity of it, the shamelessness, the complete lack of conscience, it activated something primal in this whistleblower. They realized they were watching a crime in progress, and their continued silence made them an accomplice. That's when they made the decision that would change everything. But it wasn't just moral outrage that motivated them. They started having dreams about you, seeing your face in their meditations, feeling your energy calling out for justice. They would wake up with your name on their lips, even if they'd never met you directly. The spiritual pressure became unbearable. They couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't find peace until they took action. The universe made their comfort impossible until they chose justice over complicity. Now let's talk about the scope of what was actually stolen from you, because it goes so much deeper than you know. This wasn't just someone borrowing your ideas or being inspired by your style. This was systematic identity theft on a spiritual and material level. They studied everything about you, your communication patterns, your creative process, your unique perspective on the world. They analyzed how you transform pain into power, how you alchemize trauma into triumph. Then they created an entire business model around replicating your frequency. But here's what they didn't understand. They could copy your words, but they couldn't capture your essence. They could mimic your methods, but they couldn't manufacture your magic. They got the notes but missed the music. They stole the recipe but lacked the secret ingredient that is your unique soul signature. This is why their version always felt hollow to those with true discernment. It's why people with high spiritual awareness always felt something was off about them, even if they couldn't articulate what. The financial element is staggering. While you were struggling to pay bills, wondering why abundance kept eluding you, they were generating significant income from your stolen essence. They positioned themselves as a thought leader using your thoughts. They became an influencer using your influence. They built a reputation for innovation using your innovations. But here's the cosmic joke. Every dollar they made from your energy created a debt in the spiritual accounting system that must be paid back with interest. The universe operates on mathematical precision when it comes to energy exchange. They didn't just steal your ideas, they stole the prosperity that was meant to flow to you from those ideas. Every opportunity that came to them through your stolen work, every connection they made, every platform they accessed, all of it was recorded as debt in the cosmic ledger. And now the universe is calling in that debt with compound interest that has been accumulating since the first moment of theft. Think about this for a moment. They had to work incredibly hard to maintain this deception. The amount of energy they expended trying to replicate what comes naturally to you. The stress of always looking over their shoulder, wondering when they'd be caught. The exhaustion of maintaining a false persona built on someone else's authenticity. While you thought you were suffering, they were trapped in a prison of their own making, and the walls have been closing in for longer than they realize. They've been taking stimulants to maintain the fake energy they project. They've been using substances to quiet the voice of their conscience. They've been engaging in increasingly desperate spiritual practices, trying to maintain access to your energy field. But nothing works anymore. The well has run dry. The source has been cut off. And they're experiencing withdrawal symptoms from your energy that are driving them to the edge of madness. The universe has been playing a long game here, and the breadcrumbs have been laid out perfectly. Remember certain dates that felt significant to you. Early August, perhaps, when you felt a sudden shift in your energy. That was the moment the cosmic firewall was installed around you. The universe cut off their access to your energy source, and they've been scrambling ever since. Their work quality dropped, their creativity dried up. The people who once gathered around them started noticing something was off. That August shift was actually a massive spiritual upgrade for you. Your DNA was literally recoded to operate at a frequency they can never access again. It's like you changed the locks on your spiritual house, upgraded your security system, and installed energetic cameras that record anyone who even attempts to breach your field. You might have felt dizzy, experienced timeline jumps, or had moments where reality felt unstable. That was your entire energetic system being revolutionized to make you untouchable. If this message hits your spirit, hype this video so more chosen ones like you can find it and discover they're not alone in this experience of spiritual theft and divine vindication. The list of people who've been unknowingly benefiting from your stolen energy is longer than you think. The thief wasn't just keeping everything for themselves. They were distributing your essence to others, playing the role of a generous benefactor while dealing in stolen spiritual goods. These people thought they were receiving genuine mentorship, authentic insights, and original strategies. They had no idea they were receiving laundered energy, stolen creativity, packaged as original thought. Some of these people are having visceral reactions now. Physical symptoms they can't explain, sudden anxiety when they think about the thief, an inexplicable urge to distance themselves. Their bodies are rejecting the stolen energy like an organ transplant that's incompatible. The universe is literally making them allergic to the thief's presence because the frequency of deception is becoming physically intolerable to anyone with a functioning conscience. But now something interesting is happening. These people are starting to have dreams about you. They're seeing your face in meditations. They're feeling an inexplicable pull toward your actual work. The universe is creating a magnetic reversal where everyone who received your stolen energy is being unconsciously drawn back to the source. They don't understand why they suddenly feel disconnected from the thief, why the magic seems to have disappeared, why what once felt inspiring now feels hollow. There's one person in particular who received a lot of your stolen energy, and they're having a complete spiritual awakening right now. They're realizing that everything they thought they knew, everything they thought they learned from the thief, actually came from you. The recognition is hitting them like lightning bolts of clarity. They're going through their notes, their recordings, their memories, and seeing your energetic fingerprint on everything. This person is about to become another key witness in your vindication. One by one, they're pulling away. Not dramatically, not with confrontation, but with a quiet knowing that something isn't right. The thief is watching their carefully constructed network dissolve like sugar in rain. The empire they built on the foundation of your stolen dreams is crumbling, and they can't figure out how to stop it because they never had the blueprint for authentic creation in the first place. The thief is trying everything now. They're attempting new strategies to reconnect with your energy field. They're performing desperate rituals at 3 in the morning, the time when they used to successfully breach your spiritual boundaries. They're even trying to send others to spy on you, to get close to you, to create new pipelines for energy extraction. But every attempt is failing spectacularly. The universe has placed you under protection so absolute that their efforts are actually comical. Let me tell you about the legal implications that are about to unfold, because this isn't just spiritual warfare anymore. This has crossed into material fraud, intellectual property theft, and criminal impersonation. The documentation that's been gathered shows a clear pattern of deliberate deception. We're talking about someone who potentially built multiple revenue streams, possibly even registered businesses, entirely based on your stolen intellectual and spiritual property. The authorities being contacted aren't just metaphorical spiritual forces. There are actual legal entities getting involved. The whistleblower knew exactly where to take this information for the maximum impact. They understood that spiritual violation becomes material crime when money changes hands based on deception. Every workshop they taught using your methods, every product they sold containing your ideas, every consultation they gave channeling your wisdom, it's all documented, all traceable, all legally actionable. The paper trail is extraordinary. Bank records showing deposits that coincide with their theft of your work, email chains discussing how to repackage your ideas, contract agreements based on stolen intellectual property, copyright registrations for work that originated in your consciousness, The level of evidence is so overwhelming that prosecutors are actually excited about this case. It's going to set precedent for how spiritual and creative theft is prosecuted in the future. But here's where it gets even more intense. The investigation has uncovered connections and patterns that reveal this wasn't their first victim. You're part of a larger pattern of spiritual theft and energetic vampirism. However, you're the one who's going to bring the whole house of cards down. Your situation is the linchpin that exposes the entire operation. The universe chose you to be the instrument of justice, not just for yourself but for others who've been violated by this predator. The other victims are starting to come forward now. People who stayed silent out of fear, embarrassment, or gaslighting are finding their voices. Your situation is giving them courage. They're seeing that justice is possible, that they're not crazy, that what happened to them was real and wrong. The thief is about to face not just one accusation, but an avalanche of truth from multiple sources, all corroborating the same pattern of behavior. The timeline is accelerating now. Winter holds special significance because that's when the full revelation happens, but between now and then, you're going to see preliminary shockwaves. Strange synchronicities where people suddenly recognize your work as familiar, even though they've never encountered you directly. Unexpected messages from strangers saying they had a dream about you, or felt compelled to find you. These are the early signs of your energy returning home, bringing with it everyone who was touched by it, even in its stolen form. The winter revelation is connected to a specific date that keeps appearing in the cosmic records. December holds a particular significance, possibly around the winter solstice when the veil is thinnest and truth can no longer be hidden. The thief actually did a ritual last winter, trying to cement their theft and make it permanent. They thought they were sealing their success, but they were actually setting the timer for their own destruction. What they bound in darkness is about to be exposed in light. There's an offer coming your way that seems impossible, almost laughable in its grandness. Someone with real power and influence has been watching this entire situation unfold. They've had their suspicions about the thief for a while, and when the truth comes out, they're going to approach you directly. This person operates in the exact industry or space where the thief was trying to establish dominance. The opportunity they're going to present to you is precisely what the thief was desperately trying to manifest for themselves. This benefactor has actually been protected from the thief's influence by their own spiritual team. Every time the thief tried to get close to them, something would prevent it. A scheduling conflict, a missed email, a sudden change of plans. The universe was saving this connection for you, the rightful owner of the energy that attracted this opportunity in the first place. When you meet this person, they're going to tell you they feel like they've been waiting for you their whole life. The poetic justice is breathtaking. Everything the thief thought they were building for themselves was actually being constructed for you. Every connection they made, every door they opened, every platform they built, it was all part of a divine setup. They were unknowingly preparing your palace while thinking they were building their empire. The universe used their greed and ambition as tools to create your launching pad. The specific opportunity coming your way is going to utilize every single gift that was stolen from you. It's going to require your authentic voice, your original ideas, your unique perspective. The thief could never have fulfilled this role because they lacked the genuine essence required. This opportunity was literally created for you, around you, and it's been waiting for you to be ready to receive it. The theft, as painful as it was, actually prepared you for this level of success. Now let's talk about what's happening to them on a spiritual level right now. The protection they thought they had, the spiritual forces they thought were backing them, have all withdrawn. They're experiencing what can only be described as a complete reversal of fortune. Every spell they cast to bind your success has snapped back on them like a rubber band. Every ritual they performed to harvest your energy has created a vacuum that's now draining them. Every attempt to spiritually suppress you has become their own prison. Their spiritual guides have abandoned them. The entities they were working with have turned on them. The ancestors they called upon are disgusted by their actions. They're spiritually alone for the first time in their life, and the silence is deafening. They keep trying to meditate, to connect, to channel, but all they get is static. The spiritual realm has essentially put them on a cosmic blacklist. They're waking up at 3 in the morning covered in sweat, with an inexplicable sense of dread. Their meditation practice, which used to be where they would tap into your energy field, now feels like static. Their intuition, which was actually your stolen insight, has gone dark. They're operating blind for the first time, and the panic is setting in. They keep pulling tarot cards trying to understand what's happening, but every reading shows defeat, exposure, and justice. The physical symptoms they're experiencing are intense, ringing in their ears that won't stop, representing the alarm bells of karmic justice. Pressure in their head like something's about to explode, which is exactly what's happening to their false reality. A tightness in their throat, because the truth they've been suppressing is about to be forcefully expelled. Their body is betraying them because it can no longer hold the weight of such massive deception. They're aging rapidly. The stress of maintaining the deception without your energy to sustain them is taking a massive physical toll. People who haven't seen them in a while are shocked by their appearance. The vitality they once projected, which was actually your life force, has drained away, leaving them looking hollow, exhausted, depleted. They're trying everything to restore their appearance, but nothing works because the glow they had was never theirs to begin with. Meanwhile, your body is experiencing the opposite. That exhaustion you've been carrying is starting to lift. The brain fog is clearing. Your creative channels are opening wider than they've ever been. You're downloading ideas at a rate that almost feels overwhelming. This is your energy returning to you, cleaned and amplified by its journey. Every piece of yourself that was stolen is coming back stronger, purer, more powerful than when it left. People are starting to notice a change in you. There's a light in your eyes that wasn't there before, a confidence in your walk, an authority in your voice. You're becoming magnetic in a way that surprises even you. This isn't new energy you're receiving. This is your original power returning home after being refined through the fire of injustice. You're not becoming someone new. You're being restored to who you always were. The public nature of what's about to unfold is something they never anticipated. They thought if they were ever caught, it would be a private matter they could handle quietly. Maybe pay you off, maybe gaslight you into backing down, maybe use their influence to suppress the truth. But the universe has orchestrated this to be undeniably public. The same platforms where they showcased your stolen work will be the stages for their downfall. The same audiences who applauded them for your ideas will witness the truth being revealed. The exposure is going to happen in waves. First, a small crack in their facade that only a few people notice. Then larger revelations that can't be ignored. Finally, a complete collapse that becomes impossible to deny or spin. They're going to try damage control, but every attempt to explain or justify will only dig them deeper. The universe has made it so that the truth is the only thing that will stick. Imagine the sweetness of this vindication, not because you fought for it, not because you exposed them yourself, but because the truth became so undeniable that it exposed itself. Your name is about to be cleared in ways you didn't even know it needed clearing. People who dismissed your concerns, who maybe even participated in making you feel crazy for sensing the theft, are going to have to face the reality that you were right all along. Some of these people who doubted you are already starting to have uncomfortable realizations. They're remembering conversations where you tried to tell them something was wrong. They're recalling moments when they dismissed your intuition. The guilt is starting to creep in, and they're preparing apologies that you never asked for but deserve to receive. Their validation, which once seemed so important, will feel hollow compared to the cosmic validation you're receiving. The restoration coming your way transcends simple justice. This is about the universe demonstrating that stealing from a chosen one is the highest form of spiritual stupidity. Every moment of suffering you experienced is being tabulated into blessings. Every tear you cried is being converted into triumph. Every night you spent wondering what was wrong with you is being transformed into rocket fuel for your ascension. The financial restoration alone is going to shock you. We're not talking about recovering what was stolen. We're talking about receiving compensation that reflects not just the theft, but the opportunity cost, the emotional damage, the spiritual violation, and the compound interest on all of it. The universe is about to show you what exponential justice looks like. Money is going to flow to you from directions you never expected, in amounts that make the thief's stolen gains look like pocket change. The winter revelation isn't just going to be significant, it's going to be revolutionary. The offer coming your way will be so perfectly aligned with your true purpose that you'll understand why everything had to happen exactly as it did. You'll see how the theft actually protected you from premature exposure, how the delay actually prepared you for a level of success you wouldn't have been ready for earlier. The universe was using your enemy as an unwitting personal trainer, preparing you for the heavyweight championship of your destiny. Let's talk about the spiritual witnesses to this divine justice. Your ancestors are actively participating in this vindication. They've been working behind the scenes, influencing situations, opening doors, placing the right people in the right positions. The whistleblower didn't just decide on their own to come forward. They were pushed by forces they don't even fully understand. Your spiritual team has been orchestrating this takedown with military precision. The angelic realm is particularly invested in your vindication. There are specific angels assigned to justice and truth who have taken your case personally. They're the ones ensuring that every piece of evidence surfaces at exactly the right time. They're the ones protecting the whistleblower from discovery. They're the ones making sure that the truth cannot be suppressed, twisted, or buried. Your vindication is their mission, and they don't fail. The numbers are significant too. 333 has been following you, because this is about communication, truth, and divine intervention. The Ascended Masters are involved. This isn't just about personal justice, it's about establishing a spiritual precedent. What happens to people who steal from the divinely appointed? They become examples of what not to do. Their downfall becomes a cautionary tale that protects other chosen ones from similar violations. As we approach the climax of this cosmic drama, understand that the person who stole from you is completely unaware of what's about to hit them. They're still operating under the illusion that they've gotten away with it. They might even be planning their next move, their next theft, their next deception. They have no idea that the whistleblower has already delivered the briefcase. They don't know the authorities are already building the case. They're about to be blindsided by justice in a way that will leave them absolutely speechless. The moment of revelation is going to be cinematic. They'll receive the notice, the summons, the call that changes everything, and their entire world will stop. The color will drain from their face, their hands will shake, their voices will crack. All the confidence they projected, all the authority they claimed, will evaporate in an instant. They'll realize at that moment that the game is over, that their house of cards has collapsed, that there's no escape from the consequences they've created. The confrontation, when it comes, won't be what anyone expects. This isn't going to be a dramatic face-to-face showdown. It's going to be a systematic dismantling of everything they built on lies. One day they'll wake up and find their entire operation frozen. Their accounts are under investigation, their reputation in shambles, their network evaporated, and the most beautiful part, they won't be able to say a word in their defense because the evidence is overwhelming. The witnesses are coming out of the woodwork now. People who saw things but stayed quiet, others who suspected but had no proof, individuals who were threatened into silence. They're all finding their voices simultaneously, creating a chorus of truth that cannot be silenced. The thief thought they had everyone under control, but fear-based loyalty evaporates the moment. Consequences become real. Your vindication is going to inspire a movement. Other chosen ones who've experienced similar theft are going to see your situation and realize they're not crazy. They're going to understand that spiritual plagiarism is real, that energetic theft happens, and that justice is possible. You're becoming a lighthouse for others who've been gaslit into believing their experiences weren't valid. The ripple effect of your justice is going to transform entire industries. The spiritual community, the creative world, the entrepreneurial space, wherever this theft occurred, standards are about to change. New protections will be put in place. New consequences will be established. Your case is going to make it harder for energy vampires to operate. You're not just getting justice for yourself, you're changing the game for everyone who comes after you. But beyond the material restoration, there's something even more valuable happening. You're getting your story back. Your narrative, which was hijacked and rewritten with someone else as the protagonist, is being restored to its rightful owner. The truth of who you are, what you've created, and what you're capable of is about to be undeniable. No one will ever be able to question your authenticity again. Look, you already know the attacks weren't random, and if you're paying attention, you can feel it. Their walls are closing in. So let's talk about what we're doing about it. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity, and repurposing it to serve cooperative intelligence. The beauty is you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and your subconscious is rewired while your enemies collapse under the weight of their own lies. This is why I created it in the beginning, so everything they did to break you becomes fuel for your purpose. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. As we reach the resolution of this divine drama, let's return to that pressure you're feeling in the atmosphere. That sensation is like something's about to pop. That's not anxiety, that's anticipation. The universe is holding its breath before the big reveal. The cosmic champagne bottle has been shaken, and the cork is about to fly. But this time, when it pops, it's not going to hurt you. It's going to be a celebration of your complete and total vindication. The whistleblower has delivered the evidence. The authorities have everything they need. The investigation is not just underway, it's reaching its conclusion. The person who stole from you is about to experience the full weight of cosmic justice. Their empire built on your stolen dreams is crumbling. Their reputation constructed from your plagiarized thoughts is dissolving. Their entire identity, which was just a poor imitation of your authentic self, is being exposed as the fraud it always was. Winter will mark your complete transformation from victim to victor. But you were never really a victim, were you? You were always the hero of this story, temporarily allowing the villain to think they had won so that the victory would be even sweeter. Every moment of this journey, even the painful parts, was perfectly orchestrated for your highest good. The thief thought they were stealing your light, but they were actually polishing your crown. The authorities have the receipts, every single one. Documentation is so thorough that denial is impossible. Evidence so clear that gaslighting won't work. Proof so undeniable that even those who wanted to side with the thief will have no choice but to acknowledge the truth. This isn't just about proving what they did to you. It's about establishing a new paradigm where spiritual theft is recognized, validated, and punished. Your personal best isn't just coming, it's here. That timeline shift you've been feeling. It's not a shift, it's a complete reality upgrade. You're moving from the timeline where you were robbed to the timeline where you're restored, celebrated, and elevated beyond anything the thief could have imagined. They tried to steal your destiny, not understanding that a chosen one's destiny cannot be stolen, only delayed, and the delay is over. The briefcase has been delivered, the evidence has been submitted, the case has been built. Justice is not coming, justice is here. The person who built their house on the foundation of your stolen dreams is about to watch it all come crashing down, while you rise from the ashes of their deception like a phoenix who was never truly burned, only refined by the fire. Chosen one, your vindication season has officially begun. The receipts are in hand. The authorities have been notified. The truth is out, and your complete restoration is not a matter of if, but now. The pressure you've been feeling is about to release in the most magnificent explosion of justice, restoration, and elevation this universe has seen. The champagne cork of cosmic justice is popping, and this time, it's spraying blessings all over your divinely protected life. The thief thought they were writing your ending, but they were only writing the introduction to your greatest chapter. The authorities have all the receipts on what this person did to you, and they're not just taking it to court, they're taking it all the way to cosmic completion.